Good morning, all. Hope everybody woke up on the right side of the bed today. If you're, just some random things I want to talk about. If you're waking up and feeling like heaviness, or just you're feeling like agitated or frustrated or depressed, when you're an empath, you're like a sponge for energy around you. So if I had to make an analogy, it's like you're like fly tape, right? Oh shit. You're like fly tape, and the flies, because flies and gnats to me are just annoying. I always compare them to like negative energy, right? Like bees and butterflies and shit. Like I love them, but the ones who just straight up fly in your face and land on your food and shit and throw up on it and then eat the shit, they like remind me like narcissists. Right? So for me, it's like you're a piece of fly tape, and when you're laying all night long like stagnant like that, there's a lot of energy that's around you. Not all of it's good. So when you're just like still and you're a sponge like empaths are, you will then attract a lot of like negative energy. You can't fight it off because you're just laying there asleep. So when you wake up, like the first thing I do is, if I don't feel right, sorry about the noise, I'll literally put on like a negative energy removal frequency. And sometimes, hello, and sometimes it's like a straight just frequency, depending on how I feel. Sometimes it's one that has music involved. Today I listened to Dr. Virtual 7's Pink Himalayan Salt Atmosphere Mood Changer, and that worked immediately. But when you're laying down like that, so I know a lot of people, and they say like getting up on the wrong side of the bed. Most people didn't know about energy then. They had no idea about energy and light and sound. So that's that. And I also wanted to say, like I read an article this morning about the CDC saying that younger adolescents who have gotten this stick thing that we all know what it is, have inflamed hearts. That their hearts are getting like bad inflammation, more so towards males. This is going to start happening because nobody really knew what was in the shit. And they trust a system that has failed them since the beginning of time. So that kind of bothered me. A lot of channels on YouTube that are speaking truth are starting to get like they're starting to get their videos deleted, and they're starting to get like marks against them. And if you get so many, then your channel has to go. Somebody had a channel for self-defense for women, and they deleted his whole channel, saying that it was too violent. Too violent. But yet, channels about rape, murder, trafficking, drug, whatever it is, like they seem to be okay. Logic, I told you, sometimes the truth will piss you off. Then you'll get to a point where you just start laughing about it because it's just so obvious in your face. You won't be able to watch movies. Hear that? Once again, confirmation. You won't be able to watch movies anymore. You'll be able to call the next 5 scenes. You'll see like through everything that they're trying to program you with and see the actual message in it. Also, just random, my family and I, we used to say I love you every time we got off the phone. And people used to say, like, that's weird that you guys say that every time you get off the phone or every time you walk away from each other. And I thought they were weird for saying that. Here, their families were actually honest, because a lot of times family doesn't really love you like they say they do. When you actually really need them, they seem to like leave you high and dry. Or if you can't do something for them in return. So, my father, I had this like small settlement a few years ago, and he was always very loving and I love you and I love you when he needed 500 here, 500 there, 300 there. I never had him work for it. I never said like, there was never any question, here you go, didn't want it back. Once that ran out, I needed him just to take me to my doctor's appointment. That was 20 minutes away, and he wouldn't. He didn't have a reason. He just told me at the last minute that he didn't want to do it. The funny thing is, I think his reason was because legit I was going and I was telling some of the pills I was getting. And I was honest with him about that. And then, ballsy enough, months later is when he offered to pay me for roofing in pills and asked me if I could sell them. So it's like you see the hypocrisy in them. But he never really loved me if I wasn't agreeing with what he was saying. If we were like having a conversation and it wasn't just, yes, you're right. When I walked away, if I said like, I love you, it'd be like, yeah, I love you too. Yeah. Narcissist love is conditional. It's never unconditional. They love you when you can do something for them, or you bring some kind of positive influence to their business, to their life, to this fake persona that they have going on. It's fucked up, but they need to hear this. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure that they're going through a lot of stuff that they said and should have said and didn't say. Shit they should have kept their mouths closed on. Things they had no business pointing their fingers at because what were you doing? Things they did in their past. Criminal shit when you were younger. But then because someone else stopped something, they judge other people. Just a lot of judgment comes with them. But the word I love you is used very easily with narcissists. But they don't mean it. They love what you can do for them. There you can see it. I feel so much better when I'm out in the sun. I woke up today, I could feel negative energy on me. The second I went outside, I had a totally different mood. It's amazing. It is hot as shit. But shit, I used to work on the roof in this shit. It's like 3 times hotter on the roof. That was another thing. One time my father and I were working on the roof. It was so hot, we were both getting sick. We were throwing up off the roof. My mom, who worked in an air-conditioned doctor's office, she never fully gave my dad the credit he deserved for working as hard as he did. He would work on the roof at 70 and go play 5 hours of tennis afterward outside. He's unstoppable. He really is. I got to give that to him. Nobody could take that from him. Just like there's a lot of things nobody can take from us. But they don't like to give a lot of credit to other people. And if somebody's getting credit for something that they're involved in, they want to make sure that they're named as well. So, anyway, we're on this roof. And then my dad, we came back early one day. My mother actually had the balls to say, it didn't really seem that hot out today. You guys stopped early? I guess it wouldn't seem that hot out when you're sitting in an office in the basement with air conditioning. It probably wouldn't. So my dad bought a thermometer with hands on it. And we went back up on the roof. And by like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, it was past 120. It only went up to 120. So he took a Polaroid picture with it. Because sometimes you just got to set bitches straight. Whether they're women, men, sometimes you just got to shut somebody up. I don't know if that did. I'm pretty sure it probably didn't. Like I said, I'm making these videos. I'm kind of assuming I'm never going to speak to them again. Because they do not like when you call their shit out. They hide everything that's wrong with them. And they project everything that they're doing onto other people. Make other people's lives seem so wrong. And yeah, I'm forcing you guys to look at yourselves. But they won't do anything or say anything because they know who's forcing me to do it. And ain't nobody going up against the creator. Ain't nobody going up against him. People understand now that they're getting karma for how they treated the so-called black sheep in the family. Because your characters were being tested their whole life. How do you treat the person who you think is the scapegoat and the black sheep, when really this one was the special one that I sent into your family. How do you feel now? And some of them are probably sitting there going, she thinks this, she thinks that. He's going to prove it to you. He's going to prove it to you, because I'm saying this right now. What's going to happen is you guys are going to start losing everything you held dear to you. And while that's happening, he's going to start blessing the black sheep in the family. And he's going to leave it up to us as to whether or not we want to remember how you guys left us high and dry. He's going to leave it up to us if we want to help you guys or not, because it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better with shit. But his children aren't touched by it. He always sends somebody. Always. With that being said, I love y'all. Get outside. I know it's hot. But just get outside for a little bit. You'll feel that negative energy come right off. And just start working on your healing. Start listening to some of those frequencies for your organs, because a lot of us have gone through a lot of trauma just with stress, worry, fear, the shit they put in the food. It's been affecting your bodies and you don't even realize it. Start working on your healing. Take the focus off media. Take the focus off the people in your life that are no good. Go in isolation if you have to and get to know yourself. Another channel I wanted to tell you guys to listen to was Kryon. Kryon. If you want to listen to positive shit that's going to uplift you about why you're here, where you came from, how much you're loved, what your purpose is. If you don't want to hear judgment, you don't want to hear why are you laying on your ass. There are spiritual people who are making channels talking about how when they go through their ascension, they sleep for 3 and 4 days straight and feel no guilt. We were programmed to believe you got to keep going, keep going, keep going. Work, do this, work some more, do this. You're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to rest. Don't feel lazy. Laziness to me is not feeding your mind so much. Start learning about yourself. Start finding channels where you can find out about spirituality, about the universe. Another one, I read a book called Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Listen to his channel. And I also read The God Code about our DNA and how it's made up of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen, and that's God, by Greg Braden. They have channels as well. Trying to help you guys out. Love you. Have a good day. Out.